Hey everyone, welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. I feel like I can't officially say it's a channel because I don't have a custom URL yet. At this time, I'm about 7 subscribers away from being able to fully customize my URL. So if you like videos about entrepreneurship and just girly things, lifestyle, follow my page, subscribe, and help me get to 100 subscribers so I can customize my URL. But let's get right into it. Today, I am going to be fulfilling orders. I did my little video on TikTok that kind of went semi-viral for a small page. It went kind of viral about using Shopify shipping. So then I did a long extended video on Shopify shipping here on YouTube. And I was asked to go through fulfillment as well. So just as a disclaimer, this is my fulfillment process. It's not to say that this is the standard. This is what I do. This is what works for me. I believe in any business, you should have a system that works for you, that allows you to process things accurately and in a timely fashion. Of course, there's always human error, especially when I'm working completely by myself and a little overwhelmed. But I do try my best to get things out quickly and accurately. So let's get right into it. All right, so first things first, the online platform that I use to run my e-commerce shop is Shopify. Shopify denied me to be an affiliate, so I don't even benefit from promoting them, and that's cool. I still rock with them. I still love Shopify, so it is what it is. Shopify is the platform that I use, and to start the fulfillment process, I think the most important thing is your setup and having all of your materials available. So most importantly is going to be your printing situation, your packaging, and your inserts, whatever you're putting in to reflect your business, whether that be your business cards or coupons or anything like that. So my setup that I have here, I have a Canon color image class printer. Of course, I use a Rollo shipping printer. It's the world's most loved printer. If you do any sort of e-commerce, anything where you have to ship out packages, manually printing, cutting, taping shipping labels or handwriting shipping labels is out. It's 2021. If you have to invest any money into your business and your shipping packages, let it be for a printer. Rollo doesn't endorse me either, but that is always going to be the first thing that I recommend that you invest in to make your process seamless. It makes your packages look more professional. It's just all around a necessity for your business. Don't even play around with anything else. Now, granted, if you're not at a place where you can afford to get the Rollo yet, that's completely understandable. The best thing that I would recommend is to get a regular printer. Just get a little cheap printer from Walmart, print out your labels, and instead of having to cut and tape them, at least go to UPS or Amazon and get some of those inserts that come with they're the plastic inserts that have the adhesive on the background. I'll link a couple below. Get those, so at least you're not cutting and taping, and that's taking up all of your time. But when you're ready to upgrade, just get you a Rollo. Just go ahead and skip all the BS and get a Rollo. There's a bunch of different thermal printers. If you don't know anything about thermal printers require 0 ink. So this is why it's beneficial to you. The more you ship, the more you print packing slips and shipping labels, you're using up so much ink in a normal printer. A thermal printer is made for this purpose. It uses 0 ink. All you have to do is have the labels on deck. So not only do I use it for my shipping labels, I use it for my packing slips as well. And I'll show you that later on in the video. So we got our regular printer, we got our Rollo printer. The regular printer for me, my business is a stationary business. So at times I do have to print certain products. And just as a business owner in general, it's best to have a printer. You don't want to have to always be running to Staples or borrowing a printer from someone else. So if you can invest in the best printer for your needs, even if it's a little cheap one, then go ahead and get that. You're also definitely going to want to have a scale. I got my scale for free from stamps.com when I initially signed up for an account there. I think I just paid shipping for it, but any scale will do. You definitely want something that's detailed and shows ounces as well, because that, 1 ounce can change the outcome of how much you pay for shipping. Then you want to have your inserts ready. So these are mine. I love a handwritten note when sending out packages, but handwriting every single note can get overwhelming. So I actually got this. I kind of was inspired by a brand called Grey Doves Official. She has a clothing brand as well as a design business. She's a graphic designer. And I noticed on her thank you cards, she would just leave a small space that she could write the name in. So it still gives that handwritten effect, but you're not literally writing a whole paragraph every time you need to send a card. Now, if it's a special circumstance and I feel that it needs a fully customized message, then yes, I will still do my individual thank you cards, which I actually have here. Or maybe I don't. Okay, oh no, here they go. All right, so these are my full message thank you cards. that I was writing complete messages on. But this is nice because once you start getting those repeat customers, you don't always need to do a full thesis every time you're sending them out a package. You just pop their name on it. They know that it was personally packaged with love. It has their name on it. And then it also has all the information for them to share the brand on social media and things like that. For these, because they are colored, and these are right from Vista Print, that's a really good resource for people just starting that can't afford pricier printing. Vista Print is really good quality, and if they mess up on anything, they will rectify the situation almost instantly. They will reprint, reship, and usually do everything for free. So Vista Print has always given me amazing customer service. So that's another brand that does not endorse me, but I highly endorse them. So because I use these colored inserts, I always have my white gel pen. This is actually something I sell in my shop. So I use this so that way it can stand out on the colored paper. So this is how it looks. Okay, so we have our inserts, we have our printing materials, other things that you may need. Of course, you need your packaging. For packaging, again, this is a quick run through. I will do a more in-depth video as this channel starts to grow on what I use for packaging. But my number one source for packaging, I know we love Amazon. I love Amazon too. I actually am an Amazon affiliate, so I would earn money from sending you to Amazon, but I want to send you to the right place. I love Paper Mart, okay? Paper Mart is a family-owned business. I have been shopping with them since 2015 or 2016, even prior to this business. I love the quality there. The mailers that you will get, the bubble mailers that you will get from Amazon cannot even compare to the quality of Paper Mart. My Paper Mart mailers are a nice gold. I go with the matte finish kind of gold, but they also have the shiny gold. I have my cardboard boxes from there. I usually go with white boxes. To me, it just looks a little bit more elevated than the craft boxes, but if you can only afford the craft, then do what you got to do. What else? I get everything from there because I sell stationery. I get some of my plastic boxes from there that I put my stationery in. They literally have everything. The only thing that I've ever bought from Paper Mart that I did not like is their tape. And granted, they have a bunch of different tape, but girl, the tape that I bought, it was just too cheap. And I bought a whole bunch of it, okay? Let me show y'all. So you can see, as you can see, I'm not using this tape. This is the 2-inch and 55-yard clear, low noise carton seal tape, 6-pack. This tape was hot garbage. I'm so sorry, Paper Mart. I love y'all, but this tape was not the one. So my favorite tape actually comes from the post office at this point, or UPS. But everything else, even down to like some of my, like if I want to close my boxes up real cute, I get these gold ribbons. So like these are to, stretchy ribbons to tie around the box. And excuse my nail, I broke my nail yesterday. I've been trying to purge my office and garage, and I dropped a really big box on my nail. So excuse my Band-Aid. But even down to little things like this, Paper Mart really has you covered. Now, granted, the shipping can be expensive, especially if you're getting a lot of boxes, but it's to be expected. They're shipping you heavy items. You can pick up, but they're in California. So if you live on the East Coast like me, that's not helpful at all. But the quality is really good. Sometimes you're going to be in a pinch and you need something quickly. In that case, Amazon makes perfect sense. But for preparing in advance and knowing what kind of packaging things you need, measure out your products, kind of get an idea of everything that you're selling and what are the different scenarios and different boxes and mailers that you will need. Like I said, I have everything from them. I have bubble mailers, hard corrugated boxes, as well as lay flat mailers because I mail a lot of paper goods out, so things are flat. So they're the hard lay flat mailers that can't bend. I get everything from Paper Mart. I do get a couple things from Amazon when I'm in a pinch, absolutely, but Paper Mart. If I don't tell you nothing else, Rollo and Paper Mart will have your business popping. Okay. All right. So that's a lot about just the foundation. Let's actually ship some stuff. Okay. Y'all ready? All right. So like I said, I use Shopify. Now there's more to shipping orders than just shipping them. Sometimes you really need a system, especially, hopefully you have a very high volume business. I don't, but hopefully you do. And hopefully one day you do. You're going to need a system that makes the most sense. For instance, for me, it's always easier to first ship the orders that have just one item. Okay. I know I don't have to go through and pick a bunch of items. So I would select, you can see on Shopify how many items are in the order. I would go through and select all the orders that have just one item. Or if I just released a new item, and I already have it pre-packaged, I would go through and select the orders that have that item. So based on your specific business, you just have to make a system that makes sense. I'm sure it would be great to always do everything in the order that it was received in. You're the person that's setting your processing time. So as long as you're within your processing time, do the order of operations that makes the most sense for your business, okay? And that gets the customer the order in the time that you promised it to them. So with that being said, like I said, I don't have high volume at all at this time. So I'm just gonna go into Shopify and select any unfulfilled orders. So what I usually do is I go onto the order screen, I select the unfulfilled orders, and I always go to more actions first. And the first action that I'm gonna do is print packing slips. Now, like I said, I print my packing slips directly on my Rollo because it's less expensive for me to use a Rollo label to print the packing slip than it is for me to go into my actual printer and use a full 8x11 sheet of paper and use up ink, okay? It just makes more sense. So I first go in and I print all my packing slips. Then I go through the packing slips and I usually keep a marker while I'm doing my fulfillment. I'm just grabbing any marker. And as I pick items, I will dot them off so that I know that the items are in the package and the customer can go through and compare what I sent them to what they ordered. Packing slips are very important. You can do a survey with your customers to ask if they care about packing slips, but packing slips are just good. You know, sometimes you order things online and you don't even remember what you ordered. It's just nice to see all the information in front of you. So first I go through and print the packing slips right from the Rollo, okay? And then I go back to my order screen and then I can just click create shipping labels. Now I use Shopify shipping. If you use a third-party shipping app on Shopify, that's cool, that's fine. There's ShipStation, there's Pirate Ship, there's Shippo, there's plenty of them. To me, it's just easier to use the app that's already there, okay? So once I have all the orders up on this screen, this is what allows you to go through and not only see the items, not only see the package type that you're gonna be shipping in. Please go back to my Shopify shipping email to learn more about setting up your packages in advance. But if you need to, you can set up a package right from this screen. So I'm gonna tell them, okay, today I'm using my large gold mailer. There's a drop-down screen if it wasn't already auto-selected, and it's gonna auto-calculate the weight of the package based on what you listed as the weight of the product and the weight you listed for that packaging item. If it's not correct, that's fine. You can update it. You can just grab your scale and update it accordingly. And as you update it, you will see the shipping rate begin to fluctuate, okay? Another nice thing about Shopify shipping is that when you go in, let's say someone had an order with 3 items and one of the items, you just don't have it right now, or it needs to be shipped separately for some reason. You can unselect different quantities inside of Shopify shipping. So I could change the quantity from 1 to 0, from 2 to 1. For instance, I have mugs, so more than likely the mug would ship separately. So in this shipping label, I would deselect that item and I would ship it separately. So I think that's a really good feature as well. Now for me, for my process, before I do anything with the shipping labels, I physically put the order together. Now for those who are just online shoppers and don't know how it works on the back end, when we as the business buy our shipping label, it can automatically send you an email to let you know your tracking number. And I think this is very convenient, but it frustrates people because that does not mean that the package has arrived to the carrier yet. So people are clicking that tracking number. We've seen all the memes waiting for my tracking. I just ordered the shit 2 seconds ago. That does not mean that the package is at the carrier. It just means for me that the processing has started. Now, some businesses, which I do not agree with, they will print the shipping label and do not even plan on processing the order for another 2-3 days or 2-3 weeks, depending on the business. I print my shipping labels before I walk out the door, okay? So I may look at the shipping and I may look at the cost and I have my packing slip printed, but I put everything together and I don't print my shipping labels until I walk out the door, because in my mind, if something happens between when I print it and when I'm trying to head out to go to the post office, I don't want you to be waiting 2-3 days to see an update. Now, granted, I can go to the post office 10 minutes after I print it. You still may not see an update, but at least I know that I dropped it off, and by the time it updates, it will reflect accurately that it was dropped off on that date. So that's just my best practices. Do not print shipping labels until you're actually ready to send. Now, Shopify does have a nice feature where you can delay the notification to the customer. So I could say, okay, today's Monday, everything that I'm shipping today, put that I'm shipping it out on Tuesday, because I know I'm going to go to the post office on Tuesday. That's cool. It's going to automatically send the email to the customer on Tuesday evening. But again, as small and tiny business owners, we know that things happen. So to me, I just feel more comfortable having my shipping label print when I know that I'm directly en route to the post office. So I would just make that clear to your customers. I have a little message in my confirmation that says, hey, you've received this tracking number because the fulfillment process has started. Please allow 24 to 48 hours for the tracking number to update with the carrier. So that way there's no confusion as to why they received a tracking number, but there's no update with the carrier. Like I said, some businesses give you your tracking number and they sit on your order for weeks. I don't like that as a customer, and I don't like it as a business owner. So my best practice is to print the shipping labels before you head out the door. So now that we have our packing slip and we've pulled all of our items, let's say we have all of our items packed into our mailer, right? What I do to associate a completed processed order with the shipping label, because remember, I haven't printed the shipping label yet, I always write from the packing slip, it'll tell you your order number. I always write the order number here on this little tab that you remove to make it sticky. I put the order number here, right? So that way I don't have to repackage things and figure out, I already have my packing slip inside of here. I have my packing slip, my insert, I have everything inside of here. My order number is visible on the outside. And then when I go to add my shipping label, I can coordinate this order number with this shipping label, pop it on the back, rip this off, throw it away, everything's ready to go. Again, this is the way I do it. This is what works best for me, especially if you have higher volume and you're just one person that's fulfilling everything. To me, that method makes the most sense. But again, you would do whatever works best for your business. So the way that I usually put my labels on, and let me see if I have a blank. Do I have a blank Rollo label? For my mailers, I like for all of my branding to be on the front and my shipping label to be on the back. The reason for that for me is when people get their package, they want to show it off. It's hard for me to show my package off if my whole address, government name, social security, date of birth, and blood type is on the front with the branding, right? So I'll put my branding on the front and my shipping label on the back. If you're shipping something that may be kind of fragile, the carrier more than likely is going to treat wherever the label is as the top or the front. So just keep that in mind. For me, my materials that are going to go in here are pretty protected by a box, so it's not really a huge deal. But just to show you what it would look like, I go into my little drawer, get my branding. I have my stickers here. I'll take a sticker off. This is the front of the mailer. To me, this is the front because the seam for the closure is on the back. Put my sticker right on the front. And then once I get my shipping label printed, we just do a fake. Once I get my shipping label printed from my Rollo, let's just pretend this is a shipping label, I'm gonna put this here on the back. So that way when this person gets this package and they're saying, hey, Instagram, I got my package from Paper Sanders today, they can show my branding, so that's marketing for me, without exposing their business. So again, my way, you can try it and see if it works for you. So yeah, that is just a really, really quick run through. Print the packing slip first, pick the items, make sure that the items that you're picking match the packing slip, put your packing slip in on any of your inserts and things like that into your package. So I usually do insert first, packing slip, or sometimes depending on what they ordered, I'll put the packing slip at like the bottom of the order, because again, when they're opening it up for Instagram and doing an unboxing, I want as least personal information showing as possible. So I try to kind of either put the packing slip upside down or hide it. Like I said, I use the Rollo printer paper for the packing slip as well. So that saves me having to use my printer. Once I have all my items inside my mailer, I put my order number here. And once I'm ready to add my shipping label, I pop it on the back, take that off and seal it. Okay. And then it's ready for the post office. Is that it? Anything else? So again, very quick run through, and yeah, find a system that makes sense for your business. The key to fulfillment really is having all of your items prepped. That should have been the biggest part. Have all of the items prepped and have everything organized. I have a bunch of products that are not prepackaged that I kind of do on demand. I may print them on demand or put them together on demand, create them on demand. That is kind of a headache because number one, it just takes forever. It's easier if you can take a couple days, take a week to prepare everything. So when you get your shipment in, make sure everything, do your quality control checks, make sure everything looks good, put it in the package that it's supposed to be in, any labels that are necessary. Do all of that in advance, so that way when it's time for you to fulfill orders, you're literally picking, you're just grabbing and going and putting it in its packaging. I think that's the biggest thing, just having everything prepared. And like I said, I don't always do that, so I need to take that advice as well. Having as much of the product prepared as possible, having your inserts on hand, having a physical space that's set up in a way that ergonomically makes sense, so that you know I'm going to be reaching for my pens and I'm going to be reaching for my tape. You don't want to have to keep getting up and going back and forth. One of my IG friends, Shauna, who is the owner of The Lab Style, she just ordered a standing desk. So if you find that you do have a lot, she sells jewelry, so she has a lot of small products. So before she's like bending over the table, her back is hurting, she got a standing desk. She has improved her fulfillment process and made it more comfortable for herself. So you really have to have the tools and the system in place that makes sense for your business, so that you can do it in a way that's accurate and timely. Even if you're in your house, if you have to put together a little corner, do that. The little rolling, what I have my printers on is actually a rolling cart from Ikea. It's on wheels. It has drawers for my smaller products and my inserts and my little ribbons. I could just pop these drawers open, you see, grab what I need to grab and finish my business. I don't have to keep getting up and going to get stuff. So while my product may be stored in a separate room, I'll have to get up and put the orders together in there. But for the smaller things, I can be right at my desk and grab what I need. So get a desk that makes sense, get a printer that makes sense, get you a Rollo, have everything that you need. For me, I've always found that it's better to purchase my packaging items in bulk. You don't want to purchase just, even if you have a smaller business, if you can afford to, get maybe 2 or 3 times what you intended on getting for packaging, tape, pens, things like that, so that you don't have to constantly, you're in the middle of fulfilling, you have to stop and go to Staples and grab things. Get everything that you need, create your setup. I will list all of the things that I have from Ikea. I know a couple people asked for like an office tour. My office needs a little bit of TLC before I start touring up in here. This shit is not even big, but it needs a little touch up. I'm in an older building and we've kind of, made it into a cute space, but it has some cosmetic issues going on. So when I touch those things up, I would definitely do an office tour to show you how everything is laid out, but just lay it out in a way that makes sense for you and makes sense for your business. Even if you're in your home, you can go to, what I love about Ikea, and I say this all the time, you could furnish an apartment at Ikea for $200, $2,000, or $20,000. Okay, whatever your budget is, they have something. It may not be the prettiest thing. You may have to do a little razzle dazzle DIY to it, but they have everything that you need. If you don't have an Ikea near you, figure things out at Walmart. Buy things that may be for one purpose and make it for your purpose. I just saw, what is it called? Pottery Barn had like a rolling printer stand. Something like that would be perfect for me, because maybe I want to get my printer off this cart, but I don't want to always have to pick it up and move it every time I want to reposition it around my office. So a rolling printer stand, that sounds amazing to me. But yeah, you just have to look into what products are going to make your fulfillment process make the most sense, so that you're not getting overwhelmed. And just little things. Have you some water. Have you a playlist. I'll link my little speaker down below as well. I have a JBL speaker that's connected to Bluetooth, so I put my music on, I get in my zone, and I do my packages. Okay, so it's enjoyable to me. I don't always feel so overwhelmed. And then also on the larger scale, when you are planning like a sale or something that is going to cause an increase in your volume and give you a volume that you're not used to, think about that in advance. Like, I have done flash sales and I'm just like, why did I do that? Why? I don't have any help. I'm by myself. I can't even handle this. So think about your sales in advance. Think about if you have any friends or family that can come in and help you for Black Friday, or if you're doing Mother's Day, so whatever it is that you're doing, always be thinking about the bigger picture and how the decisions that you make will impact that fulfillment process. Because the last thing that you want to do is get overwhelmed fulfilling. Because people paid and they want their stuff, and you told them 5 business days, the clock is ticking. You only got 5 business days to get all this shit out, okay? So get a system that makes sense for your business. And I hope that was helpful. Yeah. Check out all the links below. And like I said, I only need 7 more subscribers to get my custom URL. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you really care to hear what I'm talking about, hit the little bell. That way you can see every time I upload a new video. I'll be back soon.